Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Inside Santa Fe Public Schools podcast. I am Joe Abeta, and today we have the president of Homewise, Johanna Gilligan. How are you doing today, Johanna?
Good, Joe. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We were talking a little bit before the podcast. You're a Santa Fe High Demon.
That's right. Proud graduate, 1998.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's great. That's good stuff.
Yep.
I was going to ask you, so you came back to the community of Santa Fe to serve the community, which I think is really awesome, right?
Thank you. Yeah. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up here, went to Carlos Gilbert, go Blackhawks.
There you go.
Then went to Alameda, which is, RIP Alameda.
Yes.
And then graduated from Santa Fe High. And then I moved to New Orleans, where I went to Tulane for college. And then I came back. Well, actually, I stayed in New Orleans for almost the next 17 years.
Okay.
I actually worked with young people in New Orleans. I started a farm-based leadership development program for teenagers. And then I got a fellowship at Harvard, and then spent a year at Harvard. And then after that, moved back to Santa Fe and took a job with Homewise.
That's pretty awesome. I love hearing these stories just because public schools, right? We're
Yes.
public school grads and we go out and we're very successful and we come back, and it's just so awesome when we hear stories like this, for our community. So
yeah, it's great to be able to contribute to your hometown.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you for coming on today. So Homewise, for the folks out there, I know Homewise because I used to work for the city and I worked with a lot of Homewise when I was working in land use. But for the folks out there that don't know what Homewise is, what is Homewise?
Sure. Homewise is a nonprofit. We've been around for 40 years, actually. 2026 is our 40th year anniversary. We're also a community development finance institution, which means we're a nonprofit bank.
Okay.
But what's most important to understand is that we're a nonprofit that helps people become homeowners. It's really the core of our mission. And we do that to help people build wealth and kind of build stability and get ahead in life. Homeownership is the vehicle to help create a safe, stable, and wealth-building strategy in life. So we've helped almost 8,000 people in New Mexico to become homeowners.
Wow.
Yeah, many of whom, probably never thought they would be homeowners.
Yeah.
And we do that by providing a full suite of services for people who are on their homeownership journey. So, Mike Lofton, our CEO, sometimes likes to say that buying a home is a little bit like being in a pinball machine. Like, maybe you start with a realtor and then you get pinged over to a lender, or maybe you start with a lender and then, it's kind of chaotic. So the idea of Homewise is that it takes a somewhat chaotic experience and puts it all under one roof. So people can come in, they work with people that can help them understand how much money they need to save or how much they need to improve their credit score. We call those people home purchase advisors.
Okay.
That's something a bank doesn't do. We do it for free. And so you might work with someone for a few weeks or a few months or for years. We've had clients work with us for like 10 years before buying a home.
Oh, wow.
And it's always free. Once the person is ready to buy a home, meaning they've saved enough money and they've gotten their credit score where it needs to be, et cetera, then they get handed off to a realtor that is salaried. So that person is not making their income based upon how much money you spend on a home. They're making it just through their salary.
Gotcha.
And then the commission goes to the organization. And then when people find a home they like, if they have a certain income, they can qualify for down payment assistance. And then we can provide them a loan and sometimes down payment assistance to become a homeowner.
It seems like it's very challenging because you're having to help folks find a home here in one of the it's an expensive community to live in, right? And it's even getting more just because there's a lot of folks that like to live here in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
It has a draw to it, correct? It's always and it's always been that way, but I think it's with economics and with the prices of things going up, it gets harder and harder every year, right? To be able to do that. So how do you guys do that? I mean, very successful program. How do you go about doing that? And also, here's a second part. Well, let's answer the first part.
Sure.
Yeah, with that.
Yeah, it's a really good question. Santa Fe has obviously always been a high-cost housing market relative to incomes.
Yeah.
But COVID really turbocharged affordability issues across the country.
Okay.
And in Santa Fe. So since COVID, home prices have been pretty stubbornly above $600,000 median home prices in the city of Santa Fe.
Okay.
That's a big gap between what the median income is and what that home price is, and how much your monthly payment is if you get a mortgage with a 6% interest rate. So we have a few different tools that we use in
Okay.
order to create affordability. One of them is down payment assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So when I bought my first home, my parents loaned me money without any interest.
Mm-hmm.
They just loaned me money for a down payment, and that made my mortgage a little bit more
Yeah.
affordable. And when I went to go sell my home, I paid my parents back. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, there you go.
And so Homewise does the same thing. We kind of stand in for people, and we can provide a down payment that just gets paid back when you sell the home. So say you're buying a home for $400,000. Maybe we can provide you with $40,000 in down payment assistance. That means your mortgage is going to be $360,000 rather than $400,000, which means your monthly payment is going to be a little bit less.
Okay.
So we use down payment assistance to make mortgages more affordable to our clients. You have to be under a certain income. Not everyone can get a down payment assistance.
Okay.
But in the city of Santa Fe, we do have down payment assistance tools that allow us to help people up to 120% of area median income.
Okay.
Because even people at 120%, even sometimes 150% area median income still struggle to buy a home because of home prices.
Yeah.
So that's one tool that we use. Another tool is that we build homes. So we have a real estate development department. And when we build homes, a portion of those homes are part of the Santa Fe Homes program. The Santa Fe Homes program is our inclusionary zoning law, which actually Homewise helped to write many moons ago. I think it was 2012. So what that says is that, okay, home builders, you're going to build a new subdivision. You need to make a certain percentage of those homes affordable to low and moderate income people. That percentage is 20%. And so a certain percentage goes to people under 65%, area median income, under 80, under 100, and under 120. So it's kind of basically saying, like, we're going to create a range of housing costs. So they're the same homes. We're building the same homes for market rate clients and affordable clients. But the price, the effective price of the homes that are part of the Santa Fe Homes program is actually 30% of that person's income.
Okay.
So you work backwards from the price. The
Okay.
price is what that person can afford. And so what that means is that the effective price could be $180,000 or $200,000, even if it costs $300,000 to build the home and the home is worth $400,000. So when someone goes to buy the home, say their effective price is $200,000, but the home would sell for $400,000 normally, we just put a lien on that home saying, when you go to sell this home, you got to pay us this $200,000 back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And because it's Santa Fe, that's not a problem at all, right? Because it just goes up in value every year, correct?
I mean, we have a pretty stable housing market in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
The homes have consistently gained value.
I remember when I was working at the city, I remember there was, when a development would come in, there would be a certain percentage of homes that they had to put up there, and they had to make sure that they were there was the city councilors at the time were always saying, you guys got to build these homes, and you guys can't put them on small lots. You got to be equal with them.
That's right.
Right. And they were very deliberate about that when they would come in. And of course, the developers say, oh, yeah, no problem. We'll do that. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it seemed like it was a good deal. So it was something. It grew from that, or is that the same?
That's the same thing, yeah. So it's the Santa Fe Homes program, and it mandates 20% of your project is affordable.
Gotcha.
Homewise is usually going way above and beyond that. Our newest project, Los Prados, will be 50% affordable.
Wow.
So we're doing the development in order to create the housing for our clients, but we can't do 100% affordable because we lose money on those homes. So basically, we take the profits from the market rate homes, and they help to cross-subsidize the ones that we sell at a loss.
Okay, so here I am. I'm a teacher.
Yep.
Right. Just started my career, and I want to buy a home eventually.
Yeah.
Right. Is that a possibility?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So what would be the process?
So the first thing you would do is pick up the phone and call Homewise.
Okay.
Or go to our website.
Okay.
Homewise.org.
Okay.
Very easy to remember. And tell them, I want to become a homeowner. And then you'll fill out an intake form, and you get connected with a home purchase advisor. So that home purchase advisor is going to sit down with you and talk about your goals, talk about your life situation, and start to help you. It's like a coach,
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, say your credit score is 620. Maybe you had some medical debt, or you whatever, made some mistakes.
Yeah.
No problem. They'll be like, here's where we need to get. Maybe we need to get your credit score to 680, let's say, or 700,
Or student loans too, right?
Student loans are a big issue, exactly. So we basically work with the person to be like, here's here's your action plan. Here are the steps you need to take, Joe, to get from where you are to where you want to be.
Yeah.
And then you meet with that coach on a regular basis. They call you, they check in on you, how's it going? Sometimes it can get a little discouraging. So it's nice to have someone that's following up with you. And then once people get to that point where they're able to save enough and, maybe pay down credit card debt or maybe raise their credit score, then they get to meet with a realtor. And I think something that's really important to know that a lot of people don't know is that if you're buying a home that you live in, you do not actually need 20% down. We can help people with as little as 3% down.
Wow. Okay.
So you might only need $5,000 to $10,000 to buy a home.
Okay.
We are really focused on limiting the barriers to becoming a homeowner. And so the way that most banks, or all banks really, if you get a 3%, if you pay 3% down, say, that means that you have a 97% loan to value ratio. It's really jargony. But what it means is basically like you put in 3%, the bank put in 97%. Normally, you have to pay private mortgage insurance. It's called PMI if you go above 80% loan to value.
Okay.
And that can be expensive. That can be $150, $200 a month. We don't do that. We don't charge private mortgage insurance.
Okay.
So that means that we're saving you that cost. We just take your first loan and then we stack it with a second loan that we provide. And so you could have as little as 3% down without paying PMI.
But it seems to me that if someone's going through your program and they've been in it for a year, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, even 10, like you said, banks would feel more comfortable lending that person money for a home loan, correct? Because they went through that program.
Yeah, I mean, banks have pretty strict and specific underwriting
But you guys know, like the boxes on what they're looking for.
We're just like pulling the veil back and being like, this is what you need, And we're basically creating a whole new market of homeowners.
Yeah.
It's like people that could be homeowners, but they're not walking into a bank ready to be a homeowner. But a bank isn't going to take the time to help them get there.
Yeah. What's the biggest surprise for people that do come into you? Like, I guess what's holding them back from getting a house? And they go like, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of times it's just thinking, well, the 20% down is a big one. Thinking like, I'm going to need tens and tens of thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah. It's kind of the old way of thinking of buying a house, right?
Right.
Because there's a new way now.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And I think that a lot of people just, and it's understandable because housing has gotten so expensive, but I think a lot of people are just like, this is not in the cards for me, because they don't know about the fact that we have a bunch of tools like 0% interest down payment assistance, like homes that are priced at a different price if you qualify, you wouldn't know about that stuff if you're just like a layperson. So I think a lot of people just write that off as like, that will never happen. And then when they do come in and they realize what's possible, we had a really recent client. It was a really sweet client story. He actually had been homeless, right, previous to coming in and talking with us.
Yeah.
And he told our staff the story of how the very first home he saw, he was like, okay, I'll buy it. Because he just felt like, that's it. I just have to take that. Like, it's so amazing that I can get any home.
Yeah.
And the realtor was like, let's keep looking, like there's more homes out there. Like we can find the one you really want,
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good story because it tells you how, for really normal reasons, people think like, this is not in the cards for me, But until you walk in the door and talk to somebody, it's like, it really can happen. It might take some time, especially in the Santa Fe housing market, but we are there to work alongside and walk alongside our clients until they get to the finish line. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I was looking at your website too before we did this interview, and I was looking. You guys have some pretty good, your folks on your staff and everything. Yeah. You guys have a really good team out there to be able to help the community out there. And it must be. I'm sure it's rewarding, knowing that you're helping folks buy homes here in our community and be able to contribute to our community too, right? Especially coming down to like I'm saying everything healthcare providers and also teachers as well, right? Are there so if you're a teacher out there that's watching this and you're a first year, second year, it would be a good idea to go and give you guys a call and just to see, hey, where do I stand? what's the game plan here
Yeah.
for me to get into becoming a homeowner here?
Absolutely. I think another thing that stops people from coming to Homewise is they're just like, that can't be real. That's too good to be true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of scams out there. So I understand people
Yeah.
are wary. And if they hear something that sounds too good to be true, they just like write it off. But we are a legit nonprofit. We have been here for decades. We have helped thousands of people. It really is real. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy or fast necessarily, but we really are here to help people.
Yeah.
And
Are you guys' office still in Siler?
yeah,
Okay.
Siler Road.
Yep.
Right off of Cerrillos, between Cerrillos and Rufina.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that is important to mention is that half of our staff is bilingual, so we can help people who are Spanish-speaking primarily or exclusively. We also do have mortgage products for people without a Social Security number. You can have just an ITIN, an individual tax identification number,
Okay.
and still buy a home.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great to know.
Great.
What other programs do you guys have besides home purchase?
Our home purchase program.
Yeah.
So the majority of what we do is home purchase, but we do have other things we can help people with.
Okay.
We can help people refinance. Obviously, a lot of people are in a very affordable mortgage right now, so I would say stay in that mortgage.
Yeah.
But some people buy their homes on real estate contracts,
Mm-hmm.
which is also known as seller financing. That can be very risky to the buyer because if you miss a single payment, there's no protections. You can lose the home.
Yeah.
And so we can help people refinance out of a real estate contract. That's
Okay.
really important to us. We also do have home improvement loans just for your traditional home improvement needs. And we're also rolling out a new program called Homewise, which helps people make energy improvements to their home that
Okay.
basically reduce the cost of operating their home by making it more energy efficient.
Gotcha.
So right now, that's mostly a grant program. We're working with the County of Santa Fe, and we hope to be working with the City of Santa Fe soon. So that's for only income qualified homeowners.
Okay.
But we will in the future expand that to also include lending products. So that's another thing to check out and keep an eye on at Homewise. It's called EnergyWise.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Someone comes out to your home and basically does an energy audit and then sits down with you and is like, okay, here's where you're losing energy.
Put in a digital thermostat, that type of thing, or
Yeah, and also, even though there's been a lot of changes to this at the federal level, there are still a lot of tax credits and rebates. There's over 30 tax credits and rebates that people could be eligible for. Like, for example, if you have an electric vehicle, you might be able to get an EV charger rebate. Or if you are under a certain income and you're switching over your heating cooling source to mini splits, there's significant rebates, like up to $8,000.
is there something that you guys have that you're like, I don't understand why more people aren't using this?
It's a good question. I mean, it's a really good question. We have had that with solar lending in the past where I've been like, I'm not sure why more people aren't getting our solar lending, but right now I understand because there's a lot of changes happening to the tax credits.
Gotcha.
But I do think EnergyWise is one of those things in the future that I want to make sure people know about because it's a really great opportunity for folks.
Yeah. No, that's great. And just to follow up, so if you're a current homeowner that didn't go through Homewise but want to refinance, they could go through you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
same
great
for
to know.
same for home improvement loans. Like you don't need to be an existing customer. That's open to anybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Johanna.
Yeah, it was such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you
Yeah.
and your team and what they
Thank
do
you.
for us. And yeah, Homewise, I remember Homewise way back when I started working for the city. So
Yep, we're still here.
yeah,
we're
that's
still
great.
doing it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us
Thanks,
today.
Joe. Appreciate it.
And thank you, folks, for joining us today. Folks, have a safe week. Have a great week. Adios.